Hi everyone, it's Gina. I'm going to go ahead and respond to our Unit 5 video response in regards to Chapter 5. Um, Explain your reaction to how Fred lived out his job. So he took his job and respected everything. He was accountable for everything, and he wanted to make sure that the people specifically on his route were taken care of. He treated them as the way he wanted to be treated if he were in their shoes. So I think he took it to the next level. And because it was people that he was going to encounter on a daily basis, they weren't going to be strangers to him. They were going to be not even just acquaintances. He wanted to get to know them, get to know what they do, get to kind of know their schedule so that he can take care of them the best way he knew how with the job he was required to do. So I think he took it to the next level. He didn't just do the basics. He didn't just do the things to get the job done. He could have easily just delivered mail, put it in the box, and leave. But he took the time to get to know, like I said, everyone that was on his route and kind of get to know them more on the personal level rather than just, oh, part of my route. What principles can you take from the scripture above and Fred's story and integrate it into your own life? So, when I think of the scripture above, as far as doing our work as for the Lord and not for men, um, I believe where we're at is the way God has guided us to where we should be, or leading us into the path that we should eventually get to. And I know that with me, I have had my teaching credential for 8 years, and it took me 8 years to find a contracted physical education position. Um, and I think that after numerous interviews throughout the 8 years, even to a point where I was going to give up, God led me to where I am now. And I could not be any more happy than I can even fathom to be. And I think of where God leads us is to a place where He feels we are going to give Him the most glory. The fact that, God sacrificed His only Son for us, I think that this is the reason why, because He knew that we are going to be grateful and be thankful and live what we know how to do best, and it's because of Him. And so when I think of doing my work for the Lord and not for the men, and thinking the fact that I, work with students and student athletes, and even working with different age groups, I think it shows, the fact that He's given me the task and challenges and characteristics to be the educator that I am. So, one of the things that I was taught was I don't just want to be a teacher, I want to be an educator. I want to educate students and student athletes, and not just be that teacher that walks into the classroom, teaches what, is standards, and then be done. I want to make an impact on them. So I think getting to know my students and getting to know my athletes and getting to know their personalities on a one-to-one basis is one of the challenges that I feel that I'm learning to do, I guess you can say. So I think that's when I think about, Fred's story and taking the time out of their way, or out of his way to get to know every single person on his route. And I think that's one of my challenges is getting to know the students on a one-to-one basis, and not just as a group or as a class. And I think that gives me a better understanding of where they're coming from, who they are, and it allows me to know that, if I can tell when a student's having an off day, and I can actually approach them and be like, what's going on? Why are we not, showing the same effort that we showed 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, like you've always showed. And then I kind of see when I'm able to approach a student like that, they are kind of like, wow, like Miss Ramos, you're actually paying attention, or you notice something's wrong, or that I'm not, my normal self. And I think that allows for my door to be open even more for them to come and tell me, I'm not feeling good. Sometimes it might be something personal at home, and, they're comfortable enough to talk to me. So being able to allow for students to see me as kind of like a safe place, kind of then also shows that, this is the work of the Lord. This is the work of God putting me in this position, because He knows that this is where I'm going to make the most impact, not only in my life, but in my students' life, and again, give Him the most glory. That is it for this unit. I hope everyone has a good rest of their week, and I can't wait to see a lot of your responses. Have a good night.